we ended up taking the trip up to Colorado National Speedway this past Friday to take part in their final open practice of the year. Obviously, our last race ended up taking place on Saturday, October 7th, so this is the night before that. We brought the car up because we made a handful of changes to include adding cross to the car as well as changing out a spring in the left front. We've also got some new tires on our right side and figured we might as well come out and scrub these in, get them ready for Saturday night while we have the chance. We're using some new tires is just so that we can go through and use whatever tires we feel like we need. We've been running the same set all year, and those ones were pretty much tired by the end of the Invasion weekend, so the right sides were definitely needing replaced. The left sides were still pretty good, so we kept those on the car, but we didn't feel like doing a whole brand new set for left and right sides just for one night of racing and just to put it away for the winter. So we took our first couple sessions here to really scrub in these new right sides, get all of those little things poking off of them off as best as we could, and try and get that release layer from the manufacturer off as quickly as we could as well. So we're just kind of doing about half power what we could, riding around the outside, but just getting as much heat in the tires as we can, and then starting to pick up the speed a little bit later. So after using our first two sessions to scrub up these tires and get them relatively clean and most of that release layer off the tire, we decided to come out and do a full hot lap session. We have the 57 here in front of us who's been pretty quick all year, and we're going to try and follow him as best as we can, see where they're going in their line, see where they're picking up, and see their braking points, see if we can make our lap times a little bit better based off of that information. It seems to be working pretty well for us, but we are still getting a little bit loose off of corners sometimes, so I think that's just part of having new tires on the right rear, and as these tires warm up, it'll probably be a little bit better and won't be as squirrely like that. So as we wrap this session up and start pulling the car into the pits, the car did still feel a little bit tight on exit at certain times, so we made an air pressure adjustment to drop the right front a little bit and tried to add a little more stagger to the rear as well by pushing up the pressure in our right rear. So hopefully it helped us loosen up the car a little bit, and hopefully we can get some decent times in our last session here. We didn't get too many sessions. I think we got 5 total throughout the day, and 2 of them were used scrubbing in tires, so we didn't really have a ton of laps to put in today, but just using those sessions definitely made me feel more comfortable in this car, and it definitely felt like we were running better laps. Following this guy for a little while here as well, just trying to get our laps a little bit better for ourselves, and We've been hitting the limiter pretty consistently going into turn 3, but not super consistently going into turn 1. You can see they ended up locking up their left front here, which they've been running into brake issues all day today. So we ended up getting around them and doing a little bit better for ourselves here on these laps. Obviously, the adjustment we made didn't seem to help our tightness at the exit of the corner, but I think we're just trying to overpower that a little bit right now by just getting on the gas early. And although we're burning up our right rear a little bit doing it, we're able to overpower the right front being so tight. But I am pretty happy that we're being a bit more consistent with our laps. Unfortunately, they didn't have the timing loop on right now, so we don't actually know what our lap times are, but the car I was following earlier at the beginning of this run does have a lap timer inside of his car that goes off a GPS, so it says that he was running 18.8s, and if we were able to keep up with him that well, then I'm assuming we were running roughly the same time. So obviously that's pretty cool, but until we can get an official time on the timing loop, I don't really feel like it's fair to say that we've hit the 18s yet. So that pretty much wraps up our day here for our final practice. They only ran today until the sun set, and obviously there was not a lot of cars that showed up today for this, so we're definitely happy with the progress we made, and hope to bring the car out for Saturday, and hopefully it's better than it was during the invasion. Now all we got to do is load the car up in the trailer, and we're actually going to leave the trailer here overnight. So definitely appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.